Even though that's live now, mate. Okay, welcome to ANZCRL Combine.
Bonjour et bienvenue à la 5e édition des 24 heures du Mans à ANZCRL. Alors préparez votre baguette et votre fromage à la crème et voici vos œufs Dark Racing 40 et Woody Lizard.
I think we're live, Woody.
We are. So thank you for that introduction, Dark Racing 40. I'm your host, Woody Lizard, and alongside, obviously, is that man, Dark Racing 40. Welcome.
Howdy. Just in case anyone wants the English version of what was just said in French.
Hello and welcome to the 5th running of the ANZCRL Le Mans 24-hour. So get your baguette and cream cheese ready, and here are your hosts, Dark Racing 40 and Woody the Lizard.
So there we go.
Very nice.
Bing.
So currently, what are we doing? We're just watching Tim and Jack in the Besman, the last year's champions.
That's
actually,
it.
the race winners in GTE class in the Aston Martin.
That is correct. Yep. So everyone's
Taking section 1.
do this quickly.
So we've got welcome to the 5th running, as we heard in French there, of the ANZCRL Combined Racing League's Le Mans 24 hours. I'll be your host for the full duration of the race, which is going to be consisting of 4 sessions over 6 hours of racing. We're going to have the first session is in 1 hour, then sessions 2 and session 3 will be a 2-hour session. And the final session will be 1 hour, and in-game time it'll be actually simulating the full 24 hours, with the hour sessions being times 2 time progression, and the 2-hour sessions being times 5. So today on Saturday we'll be seeing sessions 1 and 2. Later on tonight from 7:30 we'll have about 7:45 actually Australian Eastern Standard Time will be the start of the second session, which will be running from 1700 hours into 3 a.m. in the following morning in game. So obviously looking forward to what will eventuate throughout session 1 here, Darky.
Yep. So qualifying has just started underway now. So we can see the LMP-H car of Matty Seekin here. He's now going to start his first qualifying lap.
Yeah, and they're in the P51 Sim Sports Audi R18. Now, is this the car that actually won the race last year with you and Sato, or were you in the number 8?
I think we were in the number 8 last year. Yeah, number 8.
So it's definitely a very fast car.
That's correct.
Unfortunately, the number 8 car has not been able to take the starting grid of Simo Racing 4 and Highlander 1777. As they've had some problems with the drivers not getting their COVID shots early enough. They're still in a bit of quarantine, and looking forward to hopefully seeing them later on tonight for the session 2. Now, people might be thinking, well, why would they bother? Well, they will bother because we run a time compression formula within our group with these endurance races. So basically, any car getting an early disconnect or anything in session 1, we have a maximum wait time of 10 minutes. So the session 2 start time for, say, Highlander and Simo in the number 8 team Yost Audi, we'll have to wait 10 minutes. And then if they can hold that gap to the leader throughout the 2 hours in session 2, with a finish time of around 10 minutes off the lead, the time compression will actually bring them down for session 3 to be only 2 minutes, and also on the same lap that would be. So they'll be well into truly in contention at the start of session 3 to bridge that gap. But if they're only able to hold on to that 2 minutes throughout session 3, the final session, which is an hour race, they will only be 33 seconds off the lead with the time compression formula being applied. So, Darky, there's a lot to really play out and a lot to fight for, even the cars that seem to have a little bit of troubles early in the race.
Yeah, that's it, Woody. So it really pays to just get back in and keep going. You may feel, I'm down and out, but with this formula run, you will have a chance to get back into it. So who knows, anything can happen here.
well, anything and normally something does happen, and we'll hopefully get the coverage of most of the incidents and all the excitement throughout the event this weekend. Obviously, we're aiming to start the race we're just around about 3 p.m. This afternoon.
Yeah, we're pretty close to that, so.
Pretty close, and then the race should be finishing on Sunday around about 3:30. So a little bit out of the 24-hour period, just how our scheduling has unfolded there.
That's it.
Pretty much run throughout a 24-hour period.
That's it. So we're watching Matty go through the Porsche curves there. Gets a little bit loose at the end there. So we'll see what lap time he does here for his first lap into the Porsche.
Now these cars, Darky, you've been obviously the 2020 champion with Sato. Now they wouldn't be running much aero, these LMPHs, I wouldn't think.
No, you're not running a lot of aero at all, fundamentally none. 3:19 for Matty. But yes, I mean, there's Sato coming to pit lane doing practice. So
that's a pretty impressive time for the first lap when the track's still a bit green.
That's it. So yeah, so me and Sato jumped into the #1 car for this year to defend our title here. So by doing that, we've had to switch makes from Audi to Porsche. So we're looking forward to the challenge. We both were going to do GT, but then we decided to had a decision to go, it'd be good to run in GT, but if we could win Le Mans in a Porsche, it'd be even better. Considering that the Porsche is slightly disadvantaged, but still a good car.
Oh, it's a very good car. It feels really stable in a lot of sections of the track, definitely.
It doesn't quite have the pure outright pace of the Audi in a straight line, but it does handle quite nicely. Here's the other third LMPH car, the Toyota of HUD's 21. So he now enters the Porsche.
This is the actual car that both Shads and Uncrewed Squid took to victory in 2019, the number 6.
That's it.
Toyota Gazoo Racing. So it's got the ability to be on the top step come Sunday afternoon.
That's it. Still, even I've had to try the little Toyota. I'm struggling how to work out how they got it so fast. There's a niche to it to make it work well. I'll eventually will work it out. But yeah, it can be a quick car here, but I think it's a little bit dicey to get it to work there. So you can see one of the GT cars there. There's Nürburgring. Oh, they almost touch.
Yeah, I think Nürburgring's obviously trying to get his lap in as well and didn't want to try and yield too much.
That's it.
Now he's been a late entry into the Ford sign entry after the Porsche number 2 car had to pull out at the last notice, unfortunately due to injury to myself. But he decided to go with a Ford GTE, so doing the whole solo race. I believe last night's session, he almost topped the timesheets, but only just got done by Dado at the last minute there, and it was 0.142 seconds off the pole winning pace, or well, I wouldn't say pole winning pace, fastest pace from the GTEs last night.
That's it. So fastest man right now in GT happens to be Jetto. He's up 2/10 of his lap time now. In the Corvette, he's come back to do it in the Corvette, but they switched colour schemes this year. He's also had a switch of teammate drive as well, because Commander Sirius was teaming up with him in this last year. The disconnect, I think it was session 3, I believe, last year.
Yeah, something like that.
Cost him really badly. But so Jetto's come back for revenge in the Corvette with a new teammate with Colonel Lloyd. And Sirius has now got his new teammate here with the Logical Sports, and they've switched makes to BMW. So they've done a 355 illogical, so he's on the pace there.
Yeah, he's in that number 60. I mean, not number 60, number 100 P51 Sim Sports GT BMW. So we did see that out in action actually last year with me Wadey, but they ended up retiring. So actually he's up a little bit illogical on his better time, on his time.
They've gone for the all black stealth mode car, so you won't be able to see it when it comes. Just let's have a look at Tim Nack. So here's last year's previous winning car, the Aston Martin. Tim Nack behind the wheel now. He hasn't done his qualifying lap, so this should come up now. The big 3T V8 Aston Martin.
Yeah, Tim and Jack jumped on board here, and he's got big shoes to fill with Metal Drive 05 not being able to make the trip over this year with the defending champion with Dado Racer. So he's in a very good car. Yeah, they've got them again. They're the same too. They're a balance of aero and no aero.
Yep.
The GTEs, they need a little bit more, but they push the limits, and you can get them, see them sliding around. And I think the Porsche curves up when we're coming up to here is very exciting. You see them really sliding, trying to hold their line.
Yeah, it is a fine art to run the GTEs, Randy. I tried that because I've always run LMP cars here anytime we've done our Le Mans special. So I tried the GTE, and coming up to here with the LMP cars or the LMP cars, you just come flying in here. With the GTE cars, you really got to back it if you're coming at a certain speed. It's just a lot more, be more precise with the LMP car. We just throw it in, just basically turn it, and hopefully the thing sticks.
Yeah, you can see they're changing gears down with LMPHs. They're pretty much full throttle through here, so it's just a balancing act for these GTE cars.
That's it.
Magic to watch through there, and then through these Ford chicanes. That's where most of the LMPHs will make the move if they've been caught through the Porsche chicane.
Yep, they're making the way out here. So, because this area isn't really a passing opportunity here either.
No, it's not. You just have to hold and wait till you get onto the front straight. Start.
Whoa,
as he gasses it up.
Big wiggle from the Aston. Let's see what time
As our New Zealand viewers might like to say, a bit too much on the jandle.
He's invalidated last time, so he has to go around again. So let's have a look at some of the other GT cars. Here's Darklow in the Porsche. I think he's teamed up with...
again.
Oh, he's had a crash somewhere because it's all banged up. But he's done it.
Yeah, well, he's teaming up with Slide Science.
That's
so Slide Science, one of the guys that have now moved over more to Assetto Corsa, which is all GT3 competition running with Shakedown.
That's it.
A fellow league in here in Australia that we like to support. They're doing a good job over there on Assetto Corsa. So, yeah, we'll see how Slide goes when he jumps into one of his favourite cars, the Porsche.
That's it. And we got Nürburg here in the Ford. 4 minute lap time, so he's still winding himself up. Jetto was going quick over 353, almost 352 here. That is quick.
The big thing you can see there now on the
and
map
he's
there,
he's up on his time again.
He's up again, yeah, but a lot of the cars are all spaced out now, so this is where they've been having some trouble early on. They've been just running in a bit of traffic.
That's it.
And the cars seem to be evenly spaced out everywhere along the track now.
But I do get a feeling. Let's have a look back here. No, that's Huz. That's Sato over there, so that must be... Oh no. I thought those two cars coming down the Mulsanne might have been an LMPH car catching, so Dark was pitted.
So just for the viewers just viewing now, this is actually qualifying where the race starts is due around 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we've got 20 minutes remaining here of qualifying.
Matty goes faster with 3:18.
Yeah, I've just might pull up, find out what the actual pole lap time was last year actually while we're on the qualifying mode.
That's it. I think last year was the qualifying mode, quickest lap and the fastest lap, but it wasn't the race record, which is held by Dominator. What was it, the first year we run these model cars?
Yeah, Dominator was the guy who did 110. I mean, not 110. Yeah, 110 laps, I think it was.
Yeah, last year we thought we were quicker, but we couldn't quite get the extra 2 laps, and we worked out where it was. It was in the 2 long sessions, so we kind of worked out that the first year we did our Le Mans, it was LMP2 cars, and when the LMPH cars, it takes them longer to catch them. But also when they do catch them, they're not that much slower, so they're not really slowing down that much. But the GTEs, if you catch them by the Porsche curves, it kills your lap time. So we kind of worked out with the GTE cars, they kind of slow the pace up a bit. So it's not a bad thing, but
exactly.
It does add to it.
So the qualifying time
again.
Was a 3:15.204 by the man you're just talking about, Sato in the number 8 Audi Sport Team Yost car.
That's it, he's in pit lane again with 3:19. Must be making a couple of quick changes.
The man currently leading on the GTE side of things, Jetto, he was in the number 26 Capriol Chevrolet last year. He did a 3:54.661, so he's already under that. So absolutely flying in the number 60 team this year, the what are they, RFH or something team?
That's it, so we're right on board with Jetto here. We're going to see the speed comparison because Huz is catching Jetto quickly. Just here faintly in the background, the scream of that Toyota over this 3 V8. see a glass of red and white in a minute. There he goes. That just shows you some of the speed comparison between the two cars.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It definitely gets them sitting up on notice, that's for sure, when you're in the GTE car.
That's it. Here's the Beamer of Illogical Sports. 355, I thought he'd be going a little bit quicker yet, but he's still got 18 minutes, plenty of time to run around. Does he go quicker? Yes, he does. He does 354.3. 3/10 of a second off Jeto's time.
It's a car that really seems to be struggling, like in pace, but it's a faster car than what it really does look on track.
I think it's the sound that really makes it sound like it's not a quick car. You look at it and go, you look at the stats, it doesn't seem to be a quick car. When you drive it, it doesn't sound like it's quick. But I think it's one of those cars where it's more quiet, but it just does it well.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good handling car. And I think it's the quickest in a straight line, but it handles well, but it does do the pace pretty good. Here's Nürburgring.
Yeah, so talking about the laps, as we were talking about earlier, so 108 laps was the distance we ran last year against the GTEs, and the GTEs finished on 92 laps. So it'll be interesting just to see if we can squeeze out an extra lap here or there.
That's it, but the potential pace of
by the way,
GTE's been a little bit faster, so...
That's exactly what I'm saying. So I think that we may see them get to around 93 laps, and maybe even possibly 94, we don't know. But if they get to 94, you could imagine that the LMPHs will be squeezing out that 109, 110 maybe.
That's it.
All the weather's looking very favourable for a very fast race.
That's it. No sign of rain this year by the look of it, so all looking good. Sato's still in pit lane. He's sitting on a 319. Timnak is still... Oh, he's had a crash somewhere.
Probably putting a tear to Dado's lower left eye there.
That's it. That is not a straight answer.
His eyes a little bit seeing that.
Considering he's got damage on the rear wing, this damage is only visual, so he would have pitted, but the game doesn't reset the damage until we get to the next session. So a little damage for us, but the car's perfectly straight for him. So he's had a decent accident, because if the rear wing's taken a whack, that must have been a big crash somewhere. So he's still yet to put in the time.
Obviously nose in and a bit of a spin.
So he's yet to put in the time. He's 15 minutes in, still not yet to put in the time. Logical turns to pit now. Let's see if this is going to be a lap that he's going to put in now. Into the fourth chicane here. Now these chicanes can be quite tricky. They're quite flat and the curves can upset the car quite a bit. Oh, there goes that lap. That's invalidated. Oh, and he's hit the wall again.
Oh, jeez. He's better off just probably returning straight back to the pits and coming out fresh again.
That's it. So he's going to have to go around 2 more times here, because I say those laps will be invalidated. Let's have a look.
So Jetto at the moment has got pole for the GTEs. He's up by about 1.32 seconds over Illogical Sports.
That's it.
In the BMW. So that's a nice little healthy margin with about 14 minutes remaining in qualifying. I think Illogical maybe just on the monitor at the moment, just looking at Jetto, looking at his lines, and oh no, as I speak, he's just coming out of the pits now. Yeah. Illogical.
And Nürburgring's returned to pits. Nürburgring with 355, so he's on potential race pace, but we're looking with the Ford. Darkwood's a couple of seconds off, but probably just needs a bit more lap time.
So I can see Hud's getting there. He was doing 21s during practice, official practice. I think it was on Thursday. I think it was.
26s, I think it was.
321. He did a 321.158 on Thursday.
Well, he's getting there. The Toyota seems to be the biggest car to struggle to get your head around, to get the pace out of the car, which is, I find it a bit odd. Matty Seconds just gone faster then. But 3:17.3, and he's returned to pit straight away.
Yeah, so he's absolutely flying, breaking lap records as the session winds down. Great looking car, the Toyota, sounds great. Looks good at night too with the lights.
That's it. As he now goes to the Porsche curves here. Now this is a fun area in the LMPH cars.
Yeah, that, and as I think there's another favourite section of the track that we will obviously see him coming through. He's coming up into Indianapolis too, where it's flat out on the kink on that right-hand corner, and
That's
then
right.
straight onto the brakes for the left-hander.
That's a corner for the Brave, that one. Just trying to slow it down now. Went to a second down his previous lap time, so that's not so bad. Let's look at Jetto. Where's Jetto? There he is. Now he's on his way to the Porsche curves now. He's been through Indianapolis and all that fun stuff.
I'm just going through just to try and see where the pace for the Toyota. Basically, it's more the best that we saw from the winning Toyota back in 2019 was a 319.570. So they can't quite, they're averaging the 320, so I think that's what it is. It's a more car that just keeps punching out the numbers during the race.
Yeah.
Because you officially had the lap record in the Audi back in 2019 with a 317.891.
Yeah, and that was on the final lap of the race too. So all MPH cars in the pit now, so it's just GTs on track now. See if Jetto goes quicker. And no, he doesn't. So it's slow. There must be an out lap for 6 seconds slower. So he does his lap around. Let's see if Tim Knack, where is he at? So he's through the Porsche curve. Let's see if he gets a lap time in this time. Big throaty Aston Martin. So yeah, so the game does use the older model cars. Unfortunately, the game is quite a few years old now, so all the older model spec cars, but the racing is still just as in fun and intense. Down to the fourth chicane here. You really got to get that first chicane right, because if you slide too much, it really slows you up for the next chicane here. So let's see if he gets the time in here. And he does. 3:58, so he's on the board now. Normally once you get that first lap time down, you're pretty good to go from there.
Yeah, it's usually you can just sort of, you find that then you get quicker, you start getting your times down again. You've done enough mistakes, and you sort of know where that's happening, and you just sort of get in that groove again. Last year, the Toyota team of myself and Lockie, we end up one lap off you guys in 4th position. The Porsche team got us just near the end of that race, with Knight Pegasus doing the full race on his own in the number 1 Porsche team. So that was 3rd last year. So obviously you and yourself and Sato are looking forward to giving them their outright victory that Porsche have been trying to get over the many years. This is the 5th year that we've been running this event, so the last 4 years.
That's it.
But the first year, I believe we didn't have the Porsche back then. It was only the LMP1 cars.
Yeah, Toyota TSO 40, I think, and the old Audi.
Yeah, the e-tron.
Yeah,
Audi.
I'll be back in a quick sec.
So again, Tim and Jack is up 2.395 seconds at the moment. So here he goes. Obviously, he's got that time to be challenging Nürburgring in the logical. If he keeps this going, try and get himself 3rd spot on the grid, which will give him the inside of the 2nd row. Currently, the pole from Jetto, and Dark Lord has actually now jumped up into 2nd position in front of Illogical Sports. As we just see there, Dark Lord going very slow, letting Tim and Jack through, as he's on an absolute flyer, Timmy, at the moment. For a terrific circuit, Le Mans is. It's one of the events throughout the year that we do, the special events throughout the year that always, all our members here at AusNZ Combined Racing League, you can find us on the website aus-nzcrl.weebly.com. Always look forward to this one. It's a teams event. We really encourage cars to be teams of 2 or more. So we have got 8 teams of 2 and 1 solo, which is Nürburgring in the GT in that beautiful looking Ford that you could almost mistaken as a Ferrari.
That's it.
Ferrari red.
It's I can't believe it's a Ferrari. It's not a Ferrari. There it is.
Yeah, that's right. And early saying when we had to part ways in our entry this year, Nürburgring, he said, "Oh, I might go Ferrari," and I thought, "Oh yeah, okay, that'll be good." And he rocks up in this Ford, but the red Ferrari colour. So he's been a bit cheeky there, Nürburgring, but mate, he loves this racing and this style of racing in these GT cars as well.
That is it. So Sato's now jumped back out onto the track with under 10 minutes remaining. There he's in the Porsche.
This is a section, Darkies. You get just navigate that Indianapolis, and you're back on the brakes, aren't you? Straight away for the left-hand corner.
Hopefully, you can get past Hud's Nürburgring here before he reaches the Porsche curves. It's going to be close. No. Well, here we go. No, see, this is what happens. So you catch up behind a GT here, and this slows you up, unfortunately. But that's the way it goes. But he'll get him on the other side. Oh, big slide from Nürburgring.
Yeah. Sato really wants to just let Nürburgring get through this because he's on a flying lap, Nürburgring, so he should be pushing the point here. You know he can get him through just in this little section, get through cleanly.
There he goes, he made the move now.
Very done.
Let's have a look at Nürburgring, let's see what he does. So blast off for his lap. Does Nürburgring improve his time? He does. 4/10 of a second, 3:55.2. So he's going to be quicker. Let's have a look at Sato as he now reaches the Dunlop Bridge. Dark Lord's punched out a lap time out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's in that Porsche. He's must have got a nice toe somewhere, but that's the fastest time we've ever seen from a Porsche before.
3:54.1.
54.
That's nice. Oh, I didn't realise Jetta also did 3:52.6.
The pace is absolutely tumbling. Look at, and then Matty's done a 3:17. So
yeah, he did that early on.
Oh, okay, I didn't notice that. But yeah, so it's actually coming down. As we said, the pole time last year was a 3:15.204 in one of the Audis, so he's still got a little bit to go.
I don't think
try and push that time.
I don't think that pole time's going to be challenged this year. But I think the GT pole time's going to be challenged this year. It has been challenged this year. Tim Nacker went quicker too, so everyone's finding a bit more pace now. But they're getting used to how to drive the cars around now. Let's see if Jetta's going to go any quicker. No, he's down his lap time, so this lap time won't happen. Let's have a look at back to Sato again on the Porsche. He's catching the Beamer. He's going to catch him. Should get him before the corner. No, he's not going to get him before the corner. Should get him after the corner. We shouldn't hurt him too badly. There he goes, just blast past the Beamer. And as we're right on board with Sato as we make our way towards Indianapolis.
This is where you just got to hold on. This is unbelievable when you're in these LMP-H classes. Flat out through here. As soon as you hit that axle, you're on the brakes hard, down into third gear, and try and get that power on nice and early without any wheel spin.
That's it. One of the slowest corners there. Now as we make our way towards Porsche curves. So Sato's got no traffic in him for a while. So I don't know if that's cost him much. Still Porsche curves there, sliding a little bit wide there, but that's okay. Gotta be careful of these curves here because you can, if you touch them, it will massively upset the car. And you gotta be careful of that curve there too, because we have seen people touch a curve and it was exit stage left.
And into the forward chicanes through here. It's very tricky, left, right, and it's so hard to get that power down. You've got to have it nice and stable before they get those
316
up.
316
Unbelievable from the Porsche. That's the fastest time in ANZCRL's history of seeing a Porsche do a 316.702. Sensational time.
I mean, the logical's gone in validate his lap time. So Joe's in pit lane, he's parked, he's got with 2 minutes to go, so he's not getting enough time to get another lap in, so he's parked it. He's done. So Sato's still pushing on here, he's probably going to try for one more lap. Let's have a look where Maddie is. So there's Maddie.
So I just got to go through, so currently at the moment, so it looks like Maddie's just saving himself for one last go at this.
Maddie will have a chance to do one more lap time after this, because he's far enough along the track to do it. Sato is probably on his last lap, I'd say. Everyone else,
that was an
all the GT cars,
unbelievable lap.
if they're on the track now, they'll be on their last lap now. Anyone who's in pit lane is done. Logically, he's parked, he's done. Jetto's done. Tim Mack's done. He's been done for a while. Also, not to mention, this is a bit of an engine battle too at this year's Le Mans. So you got Porsche, which is a V4 versus I think this Audi is a V6 diesel, and then you had the V6 in the Toyota petrol. So different configuration, and the way the curves come in, the Porsche and the Audi to deliver curves to the front wheels, where the Toyota delivers curves to all four wheels, so it becomes a four-wheel drive fundamentally. But the Audi has the smallest fuel tank, but it does sip the fuel because it is a diesel. And I think the Audi is the quickest in the, well, can be the quickest in a straight line. Depends on how you deploy your curves. Oh, he's getting a bit loose through there, Matty.
So yeah, you probably find that they all sort of use the fuel around the same rate, with not much difference between the three makes.
Oh, that's wide because they're going to cost him. So Matty's on his final lap now. This will be it for Matty. Let's have a look. Let's go back to Sato, see if he's pushing on. This will be his last lap. He's got no one in front of him. Clear track, lights are ablaze. The number one Porsche.
I can't believe that time. He's up again.
He's up again.
316.702 could be coming down even further. Can he get a 16 even? He's got to work hard through the Porsche curves and through the Ford chicanes. We're witnessing here something special, guys, here at ANZCRL. One of the fastest Porsches and one of the fastest drivers out there in Sato 15. Oh, he's cooked it.
No. Does he get any quicker? No.
He has.
Has he?
He did, yes.
Oh, he did.
316.184. Unbelievable. What can Matty Seeking do?
That's nearly a 315 Porsche. We've never seen Porsche go this quick in the R League.
Unbelievable.
So there's Matty. Let's have a look at Darko. Where is he? He's through Indianapolis. See if he's going any quicker, Dark Lord, in the Porsche GTE.
Yeah, so he's just navigated through on Argent and then on that big run now up into the Porsche curves. This is where all drivers start feeling it. Yes, we're getting close to the end of the lap. Let's not stuff it. Let's not stuff it through here. And so many do make a little mistake.
Nürburg's still big slide through there. See, also the Porsche GT car is a bit like the LMP car. Look at that thing; it's sliding loose. That's He's lost there.
So we're looking at track temperatures too, probably of excess 40 degrees, and these guys are probably running on soft, so it's very hard to manage. And as they reach them going through high loads through the Porsche curves here, you can see them, the tyres are just starting to give way.
That's it, the tyres aren't.
At the limit
Look
of
at
the
that. He's just sliding that forward through there.
He's opposite lock. You see the front wheels?
Yeah, he was
full on opposite lock.
So Darklord's not going to go any quicker. Let's see if Nürburgring can go any quicker on this lap. But the funny thing is, your tyres get hot through this part of the track here, but then by the time you reach the Mulsanne, they have a chance to cool down. So the tyres go a big fluctuation up and down all the way through. And he does. 54.2. So he jumps at Logical.
Just missed out getting, Logical drop down in that BMW. Sitting second on the grid at one stage.
So here's Matty. I think he's the last car running. So once he crosses the line, that's it. Oh, touch the curve, got a bit of wiggle, touch the dirt. And also the other difference with this Audi is it's only a 6-speed, where the other two are 7 speeds.
Darky's got all the technical knowledge of all the cars on the grid.
He's backed out.
He backed out.
I think he hit his speed limiter actually through in there.
I think he may have hit that. Yeah, that's it. You got to hit the button for the curves, and as he said, he may have just hit the button instead.
Yeah, accidentally. So qualifies on pole, the fastest lap for the Porsche with a 3:16.1. Matty Seeking gets second with a 3:17 in the Audi. Huz with 3:22 in the Toyota. GT pole goes to Jetto in the Corvette with 3:52. With Darklord,
that's a pole record.
That's it. With Darklord jumped up into second in the Porsche with 3:54. Nürburgring jumps up as well into a 3:54 in the Ford. Illogical Sports with 3:54.3 in the Beamer, and Tim Knack struggling a little bit with 3:56 in the Aston Martin.
So just so all the viewers understand this, the first 4 cars of the GTE class are all faster than last year's pole from Commander Cirrus in the Chevrolet, which was a 3:54.661. So go figure. This is going to be absolutely electric this year's event. With the first 4 cars out of 5 of the GTEs already breaking the pole record from last year.
That's it. So I think we should get these boys moved on. So the one thing we also need to be wary is that Aston Martin at the back of the grid there is no slouch in a straight line. So if he can stick with the guys coming into the Mulsanne, that thing is just going to be a bullet past most of these cars here.
Yeah, it won't be a caboose for too long, mate, down the Mills Lane straight, that's for sure, mate. He'll start coming through and he'll be the leading freight train before you know it.
Yeah, because that is one of the quickest cars in Australia, and also apparently the Ford is also very quick in a straight line. So you can see Nürburgring there.
He's sitting third too, that's very handy. Getting a nice little slipstream, and also that BMW tucked in behind him will give him a nice little buffer right in the middle.
And apparently that BMW also, once it gets in the slipstream, is also apparently a bit of a bullet as well. So 3 of the fastest cars in the slipstream are right at the back here, so this could be very entertaining. Yeah,
so we're looking at, obviously we're going to go a manual formation start, so we're going to have to bear with us while they take their lap around as a formation. It's a long lap.
Yep, it's about 5 minutes.
So go and go get a cup of tea, or go and peel the scab off one of those cans of nice amber ales that may be cooling down in the fridge, and sit back and get ready for an hour of this first session.
That's it.
But yeah, the formation at the green, the LMPH cars, the 3 that are there will actually go at the green, and 2x2 formation. And the GTE cars, I believe they're going to hold a gentleman's agreement, and once they hit the start line in their 2x2 formation, they will start their race as well. Just going through the field there for all your favourites there, and all the team drivers watching on the monitors, just seeing to make sure there's no smoke blowing out of any of their cars early on, knowing that everything's good.
Headlights are on for the Beamer already. He's ready to intimidate everyone on the formation lap. That's the plan. There's the I can't believe it's not a Ferrari Ford. There's Huz in the Toyota. Just got to be careful. You can't pull back too far back on this formation lap either. The game will tell you to speed up.
So it looks like we've got one of the guys already cracking a super dry. He's ready to go. Dado Racer 56. I don't know if that's Dado Racer 50 Shades of Grey, but there you go.
The elder statesman.
The elder statesman.
Yeah.
He's just holding himself. He's probably on the beers early on, and he won't wait till he gets into his fine red wine cabinet for the end of the session 2. I believe he's going to take control of that Besman car in session 2.
Yeah, so we'll have a run through all the camera views that we can see.
And the track's quite bumpy too, isn't it, Darky? Because it is a public road.
Yes, it is. This is all run on public road. I think the only part that isn't public road, I think, is the Porsche curves. I think that's purposely built, but that's the only part that isn't public road.
So Sato 15, so we've got our roof cam view. It's going to be exciting, especially when we're on board going through some of these fast sections of the track.
That's it. So you can listen to how loud the Toyotas, you can practically everything, but you can't hear the diesel. Like you can hear the Toyota on Jetto's car, and that Corvette is not a quiet car.
Yeah, I was just going to say too that Corvette, it can be a very noisy car as we get going.
That's it. There's the Beamer.
And a jet black livery. The Aston Martin, very throaty. It's a colour that a lot of their competitors didn't like to see last year, but at the moment it's at the back of the grid of the GTE field.
So there's a track map.
See the LMP cars all have their headlights on, but there's a lot of drivers are going through at this moment here, so they might have forgotten to flick their lights on.
That's it. So we'll see the LMP cars get about 4, 5 laps around about there, 4, 5, 6 laps before they lap the GTE cars. So these GTE cars are all in about a line astern. This will be very entertaining for the LMP cars this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the aim of the game on this formation lap is conserve fuel, save as much fuel as you can with the new fuel rules we have. So just
you might want to just go through that fuel rule with all the viewers that are looking.
That's it. So the fuel rule basically is to try and add a bit more spice to it. This year we decided, well, we did this with Daytona, and that works in quite well. So basically at the 2-minute mark, we will go through all the cars' fuel levels and record the fuels for the cars. And then in the next session, that's how much they'll start that fuel run. If they are under a certain amount of fuel, so if they finish under 8 litres, they will start the next session with 8 litres. So that pretty much guarantees all cars can at least do 1 lap and then make it to pit to put fuel in the car. So there is kind of, so you have to work out, are you going to pit close to that 2-minute window every session, or are you going to go past it, or are you going to pit before it and then, But the GT cars, we're pitting right near the end of the hour mark. Some could potentially do the hour, but the Porsches always had the range to do the hour, but we've never seen actually do the hour. The closest we've seen is it ran out of fuel at the 4th chicanes.
That's right, and that cost that Porsche a victory that year, I think. But that's one of those things.
So, but the LMP cars, they have to pit in the 1 hour sessions. No, they will not make.
No, it's usually about in between the 30-40 minute mark, isn't it? That they're usually in.
Yeah, somewhere between 30 to 45 minutes. That's what they'll be pitting.
So, and we did see, talking about the new fuel rule as well, we did see Highlander and Simo Racing in the Daytona 24. You mentioned that when we brought the rule in. Actually not pit at the end of the first session. They just ran their own race throughout the whole 4 sessions, which is basically, it's run exactly the same as the Le Mans 24 hours. And they end up coming out in front, winning by 29 seconds over Sato 15.
That's it.
In that Ligier Nissan, well, the whole field was full of Nissans other than the one Honda.
That's it.
That both myself and Dado Racer ran. You can have a look at all our archives of all our races that we've done at ANZCRL over at our website.
That's it. What's that?
aus-nzcrl.weebly.com.
That's correct. Also, don't forget we have an Instagram account, which is ANZCRL, so if you want to go over there and give us a follow.
Yeah, you see all some nice shots that have been shot throughout some of our races and posted up there.
That's
Some
correct.
of the shots almost looked real life as well. We
That's
have to really have a look to see it's only coming from a game.
My battery pack has died, I need to charge it up.
Okay, so we're looking at HUD's 21 at the moment, the rear of the field of the LMPHs. Bit of the nerves starting to creep into the guys. They're just really making sure everything's right. Hoping that they've checked everything.
That's it.
They've got their fuel strategy selected well, because that's where a lot of people come undone. They don't have that yellow tick that you need to do for your fuel strategy during that 2-minute ready up period before the formation lap.
That's it.
And it's set on default, and they come in and they wonder why they didn't change tyres or something didn't happen, because it's just on the default setting.
Jetto giving his tyres to try and get them warmed up here, because that's the other thing with this lap is the tyres have cooled right off now.
Yeah, the tyres would have cooled down, the pressures would have started dropping as well, and also the brakes, as we said, it's one thing, you take off and get a nice run off the start line, but then you can't pull the car up. When you come up into the first chicane there, into the Dunlop curves.
So we're just about to see the green flag here. We can now exit the Porsche curve, sorry. Jetto better not fall too far back, because if he's too far back he's going to have to speed up here, so you better watch his gap in there.
I think Jetto's seasoned well enough. He knows how the game runs.
That's it.
So here we go for our start of our Le Mans 24 hours.
So the
this time, around this time tomorrow at 3:30, though, in an extra 15 minutes, we will have our victor.
There's the red lights.
Sato 15 on pole.
And away we go.
And off.
There we go. Good delay start there.
All been enabled. And look at Matty Seekin having a good look down the inside already, nice and early.
That's it. And the GT battle's underway now.
They can all pull her up well. Their brakes, these are ceramic brakes, as they get all found out now. They have no temperatures in them, and they've all ran a little bit out of offline.
There we go. Oh, Tim Max made the jump over.
Yeah, Timmy's already made a move over a logical.
Here's Matty Seekin and Sato. Now they're going to first run onto Multan. Well, Matty runs really, really wide there.
Yeah, it's easy though. They might get a little time penalty, but the thing is that you can just run off the track a little bit on those white lines.
Sato just sent it flying down the inside here. Well, let's see what happens with who's got the pace in a straight line. Sato goes to defend over Matty, but here comes Matty back on the inside of him.
What an opening part of the lap down the Moose Lane straight into the first one of the Forza chicane. Matty's hanging on to it for dear life there. I think he was all a little bit muffled with his buttons there.
That's it. So you can really see the gap the LP cars have pulled on these GTs, and Jetto's got a good gap here. It's forward. Look at that train. Matty's really picked up time penalty, so is logical. There's Nürburgring running wide. Devils. So Nürburgring's jumped up a position here. Jetto's got a bit of a gap, so he's liking that.
Yeah,
look at that. There's the Aston. Here comes the Aston.
And the BMW, they're working together now. They're all trouncing the Porsche. Porsche's probably the slowest car down the straight.
Yes, yeah. But if it gets in the draft, it will be an absolute bullet. So here we go. So here goes the Beamer down the inside, trying to look down the inside of the Aston Martin. Into the chicane. Oh, just backed it off.
They all pulled it up well. This is great racing. This first opening lap of our Le Mans 24 hours. This is our first session, which will go for an hour with ×2 time progression. Skies are perfect. Light cloud, only a whisper of cloud in the sky.
Jetto's got a big gap now.
I'm here with Woody Lizard, and I've got my mate here, Dark Racing 40, helping me out.
That's it. But here comes the Aston onto the back of that Ford, and the Beamer's going right with him. One of the crucial points of the Porsche's really good drive out of the corners.
That does it. Definitely, it's a very nimble car though too, and it goes well through some of these tighter corners. With these bigger cars, they roll a lot, they struggle.
That's it. So Sato's already out of Indianapolis and Varnage. He's already pulled a bit of a gap over Matty. But the race is long, so having a bit of a gap won't really hurt too much here. There's Matty Seeking.
Nah, that's it.
In second right now, and there's Huds. He's hanging on quite well.
Yeah, the main thing that all these cars are all happy about at the moment, they're all straight. There's no real marks on them. They've been in pretty tight early on, but it looks like they've all come through unscathed at the moment. That's what they want in this opening lap.
So now as we reach... So now the other thing is also for these GT cars, when they reach the false curves, if you're up behind someone like this, you tend to lose a bit of aero. These guys aren't running a lot of aero, so you have to be careful coming in through here now.
Yeah, you can see Illogical was aware of that. I think you could see him just backing off just a little bit.
That's it.
And he can afford to do that too, because he's got Dark Lord a little bit further behind him, so it's not like he's got someone right up his clacker.
That's it.
And here they come up into finalise their first lap here up into the Ford chicanes. The LMPHs are already on their second lap.
That's
with
it.
a 3:26 for an opening stanza for Sado in that Porsche, number one.
I think Matty's picked up a time going there. Dark Lord's dropped off the pace, but that's not going to hurt him too badly now. So you can see after one lap, the GTE cars are practically a minute behind already.
Well, let's be nice to them. 45 seconds, mate, 3/4 of a minute.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. That opening lap from them, especially through the first part of the what do we call it, Dunlop curves.
That's it. So Dark Lord's just dropped off a bit, but that's not going to hurt him too badly. So I think that car is probably one of the better cars on fuel. The Beamer actually isn't too bad on fuel. That's because it has the biggest fuel tank also. I think it's over 100 litres. So now...
Yeah, just have a look at these guys here with just in front of Logical, Tim and Jack, the defending champions in the Besman Aston Martin number 48.
That's it. So let's see if these guys can catch up onto Nürburgring here. They're pace with the draft.
I think you find that's what they're doing right now. They're working together to get into the back of Nürburgring, and hopefully they can all push on and try and get the bridge that gap to Jetto.
That's it. There goes Jetto. He's already got out to what, a 2-second gap over Nürburgring. But here comes this little train of cars here now. Here comes that Aston, that big mighty V8. He's closing up on him, but he's not going to quite get in by the brake zone. And the Beam's getting total on too. The Porsche's getting dropped back a bit.
And we'll see them now. They're taking a nice little run now up into the Mills Lane corner, which is a very difficult corner sometimes, isn't it, Darky? If you see some cars, they pinch their rear brakes and they can have a little bit of a moment through coming into this tight right-hand corner.
That's it, yep. So you're over, on the LMPH cars, you're over 300 kilometres here, and it is a very late braking, but as you can see, it's a double corner here. So you sort of need to, is it logical, nearly very close to the back of Tim Knack.
The advantage of that corner, though, there's plenty of runoff area in the sand there, so yeah, you can get through, but you lose a ton of time because you don't get the momentum then down the straight here towards Indianapolis.
Look at this road train of cars. Look at this, they're all ganged up on the 40, but there's nowhere really to pass here. With these two double right-hand kinks here, and this fast kink into Indianapolis, which isn't really a passing move.
No, it's very risky to try and dive down the inside, down the left-hand side there, but it can be done in the GTEs. But then a lot of times
you do need
find yourself
cooperation.
on the outside. You do need cooperation.
See, also the other thing is the car's braking performance can also throw the sequence of the other car following behind. So apparently Aston Martin needs to brake a fraction bit earlier, from my understanding. But it still pulls over because it might be braking a bit earlier, and the Beamer might be able to brake a bit later, so they might just slightly hold him up a bit. These guys are absolutely not line astern here.
Yeah, they're having a good little opening battle.
And I think they're slowly pulling back in Jetto, actually.
Yeah, slowly.
It was a 2-second gap, they're down to 1.5, so their straight line pace of those three in a line is helping them out.
just remember also tyres, you know, as we said before, track temperatures of plus 40 degrees and they're also just running on soft tyres. So
That's it.
with these guys paying a little bit of respect going through the Porsche curves too, Ducky, they might be saving their tyres a little bit better, and of course they're getting a good draft down the main straights. That's why they're pulling in, I reckon, Jetto.
That's
Jetto's
it.
out on
Oh,
his
here
own.
comes
He's
the
got no help.
Logical's going to crack at him. Tim Mack. No, couldn't quite get the power down properly. Looked like he was.
I think he got down a little bit too early, and that's why he was squirming around the track trying to take control, the rear wheels.
So let's go have a look at the front of the field now. Here's Sato, who's cleared out to a 6-second lead over Matty.
Doing an 18.2 on lap 2.
That's it.
3:18.
So he's not sitting around.
Well, no, he's not, and he doesn't want to either, because he knows the pace of those Audis can only improve throughout the race. So he wants to try and get that gap that he can do, and maybe force Matty into a mistake trying to chase him down, because as the time goes on, Matty won't be enjoying seeing that Sato's already out in at a 6-second lead.
And here's Hudson in the Toyota.
Huz is doing a great job. He's not driving above like beyond his limit, and he knows he's just got to keep it on that same lap and let the time compression bring him right back to the field when he hands that Toyota over.
And runs wide again. Here comes the Aston.
To Lolux, which I think Lolux is pushing out some very fast times as well in the Toyota.
That's
so beautiful thing of having team spot. Oh, and it looks like the Aston Martin's having a look down the inside of Nürburgring.
Well, technically it's the outside
Here he
now.
goes. He's just made that stick before.
Oh,
but here comes Nürburgring back down the inside. But can he hold on to it? No, he can't.
He's had to go for the
Now
escape
he's
route
going to
there.
drop 2 positions here, I'd say.
Yes, he will. Just outbrake himself, pull the draft, and it's just skyrocketed down to the back of the field.
Yeah, but that was good driving by him not to try and make that corner. He could have spun in front of both the, Tim and Jack in a Logical. And now Logical, is he going to have a dive down the inside here?
I think he's trying to set him up to get a good run out of the corner. Like that.
He has. He's got that power out of the Mills Lane corner, and look at this run that he's got, Darky. Kicked it like a dirty nose.
That's it, but now it's a drag race. Who has more horsepower in a straight line? Here comes the Aston.
Someone's going to have to yield, and it looks like the Aston Martin is not going to yield at all. He wants it. Nürburgring's going, look, let's make this track wider.
Still side by side. The Aston's nosy, but who's going to yield here? Oh, they're still sitting side by side.
Side by side, and look, Tim and Jack held it around the outside.
And here comes Nürburgring. He's going to have a crack at the beamer.
What did we say a lap before, Darky? You need drivers' cooperation through Indianapolis, and that's exactly what we got there.
So Illogical had the better drive, but doesn't have the grunt over the Aston.
That was a sensational move by Tim and Jack in the defending champions car, the 48 Besman Aston Martin. Now he's second. You can see the leading car of Jetto in front of him.
That's it. And Matty's done a good lap time, previous lap time, 3:18 in the Audi. Second quicker than Sato, so he's starting to pull in Sato a little bit.
See how it seems like the Ford seems to really enjoy the Porsche curves. He seems to be having to back off behind the BMW.
Oh,
now
yeah, he's really
had a whole lot of
aero wash.
Aero wash, yeah.
So that's the cost of
There you
being.
go. We thought the BMW was going slow, but here he's right on the back of Tim and Jack.
Yeah.
It's just,
he's on the brakes.
He's had a look down.
He's just avoided. He's lucky.
Held on really well, but there goes Tim and Jack. Where is he? Is he not going? Is he going to come back through onto the track? Yeah, there he comes.
So again, a scare from one driver, and because those Ford chicanes are very tricky. I'm not a big fan of them, but there he goes. So now the Beam's now finally made the move. Very messily, but he's made the move.
Wonder if this lap, if a Logical will jump from second, or drop from second, and then go down to fourth, like everyone else has been doing lately.
Well, this battle's been helping Jetto. He's now put out a 4-second gap.
Yeah, because previously, as we said, the lap before that, we had Nürburgring in second, and he jumped down to 4th, and then we had Tim and Jack just got into 2nd, and now he's back to 4th. So if we roll it around, I think it's the Logical's turn.
That's it. But they're all got a gap now.
51 Sim Sports guys, they're definitely another act above everyone at the moment, and doing a great job. And it's only going to get faster with some Commander Cirrus teaming up with the Logical in that number 100 P51 Sim Sports GT BMW M6.
That's it. So if you look at the other side of the track, the red dots are the LMPH cars, so they're almost half a lap behind now. So it's safe to say in the next lap and a half, they'll be getting lapped by the LMPH cars. Because Nürburg's now caught on the back of Logical now with the draft. Tim Knack will still be in the draft from that far back and using pure grunt, but look at the background there. The Porsche of the Dark Lord is just coming in the background there because all these guys got a bit messy. You can see them there, the lights on in the background. But here comes Nürburg.
Starting to catch him again.
He's making his move at the Logical.
This is where he went straight through last time.
He's backed out this time. He's decided I want to make the corner this time.
The GTE battle is not disappointing like every other year. It's always intense.
Sat over a slow lap, 3:20 that time round.
Yeah, well, he's actually been slow a little. He had a 6-second lead earlier, and he's dropped that down to 4. So Matty's been doing those consistent times, and that's what I'm saying, that the Audi is just so consistent.
That's
to
it.
be able to knock over those numbers in the low 19s and 20s.
Yeah, the biggest problem with the Porsche is where you deploy your curves it makes your lap times. So you have to be a bit more careful with the curves. With the Audi, is basically, I think you have to use it when you've got it. With the Porsche, you actually develop more curves because it regenerates curves under throttle. So you actually make more curves, but your usable amount of curves is less, or is about the same as the Audi. But the Audi only makes curves under braking. So once you deplete your curves, you have to wait till you get to the next braking zone to use it again.
Yeah, till you build up your curves, so then you can use it out of that braking area. Exactly.
Here we go. These are back out again.
Nürburger down into the Arnage.
That's it. Logical gets in the room. Yep. And there's Dark Lord, and there we go. Drag race. Who has more horsepower? BMW Ford. V8 twin turbo versus V6 twin turbo now. But Nürburg's got the inside line here. And this is close. I think there's just a slight touch there. There's still some side. There's another touch.
There's another little slight touch. You don't want to be putting anyone into the barriers here. Someone has to yield. They're not yielding at all. This is exciting stuff.
Someone's going to have to yield here, or it's going to have a wreck. But now
that was very smart.
Illogical's now jumped back into second. Tim Knack's just catching up now.
Yeah, and that was absolutely some tough racing there by the boys of the P51 Sim Sports and Nürburger in that Ford GTLM.
That's it. But by all this battling,
down,
he's giving Jetto room to run out there. He's now to a 6-second lead.
Yeah, he's having a nice little run, Jetto, but at the same time, he's got this angry pack behind him, ready to pounce if he makes a little mistake. And also, at the same time, as we're saying that. Dark Lord has been able to get onto the back of the train as well, slowly.
That's it. So here's Jetto in the Corvette, all by his lonesome, which he basically wanted. Wants to run his own race.
His teammate Colonel Lloyd is just coming out of the motorhome with his hair freshly permed.
Yep. Check it out in the mirror.
Yeah. Freshly styled. He's got the 1980s look.
Let's have a look at the Porsche of Dark Lord. He's hanging in there.
I don't think he's more than hanging in there. I think
he was quicker than those three cars ahead of him. He was at 57.
Yeah.
But they're all 58 because they were battling.
That's right.
So
he's definitely got that Porsche driving really well. We haven't seen the Porsche drive so fast for a long time. So he's definitely one with the car at the moment, Dark Lord.
That's it. So Nürburg's having another crack at the BMW Logical Sports. Tim Knack's just made a mistake, falling back a bit. But the power of that Aston will pull him back up. And as you can see on the track map, those red dots have just jumped onto the Mulsanne straight here. As these GTEs have gone through the first chicane. So these GTE cars, as Sato's just put out another, he's gone with 390, so he's picked up his pace. So these GTE cars will potentially be in lapped end of this lap, I'll say, beginning of the next lap.
Yeah, definitely. And with Matty going faster
Oh,
again with
Logical
3.
made a
Oh,
mistake.
Logical. Has he kept it off the wall? I think he has. But
There
that's
goes
now
Tim Mack.
given a Logical.
Yes, car is straight.
Yeah, Tim and Jack has been able to now make that move and sit back in behind Nürburger. And look at this, even closer, every lap we just see that Porsche get closer and closer to the train. But we've just heard from Lloydie. He's actually definitely living in the 80s because he doesn't have no phones to be able to check on his hair, so he's using the second pair of sunnies just to make sure his hair is looking good.
And I'm pretty sure he's got a switch blade comb as well.
The switchblade, yeah.
Yeah, switchblade comb. Looks like a knife, but it's not quite a knife. I think it comes out of the same factory where sponsors Nürburg's. I can't believe it's not a Ferrari Ford. So Nürburg's now got the gap of this guy, so maybe let's see what pace he can run. But those two other guys, they're coming again. These three are just going at it. Yes, Lloyd.
Oh, look, Tim and Jack up on the grass. On the
exit.
A
Bit of a touch of Beamer versus Aston. These two are going at it once again.
Definitely not disappointing, the GT battle so far. No. We've seen the LMPHs are doing their thing out in front.
And here they come. Here they come. Here comes the MPH cars. So Sato's going to catch him at the end of the Porsche curves here. So it's not the greatest spot where he's going to catch him.
Yeah, he's going to have to... I reckon he might just, it's going to come up into the Ford chicanes where he's going to be right on him, and he's going to have to hold him, and that's going to give Matty Seekin all the room that he needs to try and bridge his gap.
And then Matty will get them in the good spot because he'll be on the front straight towards Dunlop curves. But if he catches them after the Dunlop curve, he's going to have to wait to that little complex section. So
Sato's going to make the move here.
But no, I don't think he's going to get the other GTs. There they are.
Probably just timed perfect for him because he's going to get him up. Well, he's got to be careful through the Dunlop curves too because these guys here are battling.
That's it. You'll probably get 2 of them, maybe 3 of them. We'll see what he does now.
He's going to have to hold. He's going to have to hold here.
He's have to hold here.
And that's
Nürburg's made a mistake. Tim Mack's made a mistake too. We're all making mistakes.
He's basically got a GT moving chicane in front of... Oh, Sato has had to just go to the infield. And he's lucky he didn't get the tyre barrier there.
That's
Darky.
It. Oh, Matty's in pit lane now. I just realised Matty's just jumped in pit lane. That's an early stop.
That's a strategic move, I think, and because he knows that they're just coming up to the lap traffic. But at the end of the day, he could have been on the back of Sato after we've seen Sato have to yield with the GTEs.
But now it's Hud's turn to battle with the GTEs. Let's see, let's have a look here. So Tim Mack. So they've all got a bit of a gap now. They're all spaced out a bit now. Let's see, let's watch.
Just a little bit.
And there's Hud's.
So that's a bit strange that Matty's actually had to pit early, unless they didn't fill it up correctly. I'm not too sure. So
this might be their game plan. They've worked out the race backwards. So if they work out if we pit here, this will get us right to the end. So they might be running and just run the car.
Yep, that could be. They're looking at the amount of fuel that they need to burn throughout the whole 6 hours, and they're probably just sticking to that number.
Because from my knowledge, that is too early for an empty the fuel tank, unless you want to run could run a short tank. So it might be a ploy. Oh, I think I've worked out what they've done. They've short filled this session, so their plan is to pit right near the 2-minute window at the end of this session, so they have a full tank for the next session.
Yep.
I reckon that's their plan. So they've pitted now. So they're going to pit probably at the 2-minute mark again. So let's have a look at the never-ending battle here.
The interesting thing about the whole fuel strategy, the previous years, for all viewers that may not know about what we're doing in the previous years with our time compression that we do have, we've harped on about the time compression where basically you compress the field between the 2 sessions. It's a trigonometry formula. So basically, if you're 2 minutes behind the leader of the car with the time compression, it'll bring you back to about 33 seconds. from the car in front, so from the leader. So once we start session 2, it'll be a standing start, and at go, the cars for the leading LMP H car and the leading
Tim Nack
GTE
up on
car,
the dirt.
once you
That's going to give
go on the green.
Back here. But he's stuck
then
around the
all other
outside.
cars
Is he going to
will
make the
stay
move
on
around
the
the
grid
outside? And he
while
does.
they wait for their
He makes them
compression
around the
time
outside,
to
yes.
finish.
So Logical's now
And
jumped
then
up.
once they go, they'll start the race. Sorry, Darky.
That's right,
And,
Logical's jumped up third.
And then once that goes on, then they'll get their race started. So with the fuel load, the previous years we've had the cars to be so they could finish on with only 1 litre of fuel between the sessions, but then have a full tank to start the next session. This year we've introduced a situation where we record the fuel with the last 2 minutes remaining. Both myself and Dark Racing 40 will be doing that, and then we'll publish that fuel level, and that's the fuel level that they must start on for session 2. If they're under 8 litres, they will start the race at 8 litres. Oh, massive crash. And Nürburger. That's a big accident.
They're going to be careful because there's an Audi going to come through here in a minute.
And we don't want to ruin Maddie's race because Maddie's already pitted.
Oh, that car is crashing badly forward. They've had a massive incident, so Nürburgring and the Logical comeback thing. They're going to be pitting now.
Look, pitting now, and they're just going to now have to run their race and won't pit again, and they're going to be starting the next session probably with 3/4 of a tank or so, or probably just a bit less than 3/4 of a tank.
I think Nürburgring's car's really damaged. He's really struggling. So here's Tim Nack.
We've missed that on the coverage of what happened, but obviously it was through the Porsche curves. Obviously they were battling again, maybe side by side, or one of the cars got loose and spun in front of the other. But they were so lucky. We just saw Matty Seeking come through with the Audi, and geez, he was close.
That is a damaged Ford.
Yeah, no front end. That's all gone. It's twisted.
Yeah, it's called crab walking. So there's going to be a lengthy stop for the Ford. Don't know how long it'll be bad for the Beamer, because I don't think the damage was too bad. But he's put fuel in, so he's topped up. So, Jetto's out to a 13-second lead now over Tim Nack in the Aston Martin. Guess who's in third now? That appears to be a Porsche. Dark Lord. Here comes Matty Seeking. Matty Seeking, the lucky man, almost tagged his teammate in the P51 SimSports car, or the Ford of Nürburgring. So he's had to brake to avoid it, but he's still in the race. He's got no damage, so all continues on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, it's a big moment there of the race there on, I don't know what lap number that the GTEs would have been on, but
they're probably 2 laps down now. I can bring up the timings. They are on lap 7, so lap 6. At the end of lap 6, it happened.
6. Yeah, wow, massive. So we'll give a quick update. We're just hearing from Commander Sirius some of the viewers that may want to know. From the start of the race, we had Sato on pole with Matty Seeking on second, and then we had Hards in the Toyota third. Off the start for the LMPHs, we had the Audis of the P51 SimSports and Matty Seeking take lead of the race early on. But then Sato quickly managed to get the overtake done on the Moose Lane straight, and has led the race since. And then I think what we've caught is Matty has probably taken a strategic call and pitted around the 38-minute remaining, something like that, for full tank of fuel. So why that happened, and he was getting back together and going around. We've had an almighty battle of the GTEs with Jetto 13 actually leading the race the whole time. He hasn't been troubled since the start, but we have had the 2nd, 3rd, 4th positions changing lap after lap between Tim and Jack, Illogical Sports and Nürburgring for around about 3 or 4 laps until obviously Nürburgring and Illogical Sports. Something has happened around the Porsche curves which we did not see, but they ended up...
I wouldn't be surprised if one of them touched the curve coming out of the Porsche curves, and then it's just spun right in front of Illogical, and they've come together.
Yeah, it was just here, and they were both pointing nose to nose together, so obviously they've had a big coming together, and they both come in pits for repairs. But just as they were correcting themselves, Matty Seeking came through after being in the pits, and he just avoided his teammate in the GTE class of the BMW of Illogical Sports in Nürburgring.
That could have been a monumental crash if that happened. Because Matty Seeking would have been
So,
coming around here around nearly close to 300 kilometers per hour.
Exactly, and he's been right on the
250,
brakes.
260, I think, if I'm correct, 240, somewhere around there. So he's got on the brakes and avoided them, which has been good. So he continues on. He's dropped a bit of time, but that's not going to hurt him too much.
Oh, it's Tim and Jack. His rear tyre's starting to be a little bit mushy after coming all through the Porsche and Ford chicanes, but now they'll have time to start to cool down again. But the drive at the moment as well in the battle here, it's been that Porsche, I think, of Dark Lord. He's been, or I'd say Jetto's been the driver of the GTE. He's just sticking it out in front, but Dark Lord has not stopped. He was about 5 or 6 seconds behind.
Where did he qualify? Third? Yeah, third.
He did a 36. Yep. I mean, not a 36, a 56. Sorry.
Fell to the back of the pack pretty quickly.
54.
Wasn't out.
Oh, he did a 54 point something.
I think it was third or second. But yeah, he fell to the back of the pack pretty quickly. I think he's running his own race. But due to these guys having incidents and all getting into each other, he's now bumped back up into third, just running his own race. And he should have the draft here of that Aston Martin. In that Aston Martin will be mightily quick in a straight line. He should still get the draft, and with a bit of draft, this Porsche is really quick.
That's right. It's probably geared to get that little draft.
It's got a lot of RPM to burn in the top gear, so you don't quite rev out naturally. But if you get a draft, you'll be absolutely cooking, and it's really good on the brakes here, and it handles pretty nicely. So.
Yeah, see, and he's only just in within that second range there of Tim and Jack in the defending previous winner of last year in that Aston Martin. So doing a terrific job.
So,
and just knowing that Tim and Jack was actually in the battle for second for so long as well, so they haven't lost much. So Tim and Jack, what's the time he's got there from him and Jetto? They've actually dropped off a little bit, haven't they now?
15 seconds.
15 seconds, yeah. So they were running roughly about 5 or 6 seconds behind for a period of time.
So obviously that incident has held up all these cars here. But yeah.
So it's not too far now. If we go to Matty Seeking, we might see a nice little battle between him and Huds, because they're starting to get within striking distance.
That's it. You can hear him. You can probably see him too. There is the Audi.
Just in the distance, some shots you will see the Toyota.
You should be able to hear it too, because it is ridiculously loud. There he is, just up to go emptying the Porsche curves. So quite a few cars spread around the whole track now. Sato's coming up to it behind the car at the Porsche curves. The Dunlop Bridge, sorry. So as you can see, it sounds like no lift from Matty to this Porsche curve, so it's flat out.
Yeah, all distinctive sounds, the LMP H cars, they all have.
That's it. So Matty is closing on Hans here.
Yeah, slowly he's catching him.
That's it.
As Sato's just done an 18, nearly 18 flat in the Porsche still, so he's absolutely found something from practice to race day. He put it on pole with a 316 Sato, the Porsche. It's the fastest we've ever seen a Porsche LMP car go. I'd like to see actually on the leaderboards in the around the world a Porsche LMP car and see what the fastest time around here is.
That's it. So
that'd be right up there.
That's it. So Matty can now see the Toyota ahead of him. So you can see it's a very quiet car, this Audi. It's a nice car to do for long runs because it doesn't hurt your ears. It's just constantly, just this little drone, which isn't too bad. But some of the other cars are really loud and can hurt your ears after a while. You kind of get kind of sick listening to this car now. Or Matty pushes a bit deep in the first chicane here. But he's still closing on Huds. So 27, well, under 28 minutes remaining now. So
I wonder if we can claim for some industrial deafness for workers' comp, because we're sim racers. Having our earpieces on too loud, driving fast, loud cars.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Just watching Matty here trying to close down onto Huds here in the Toyota. Let's have a look how Huds is travelling. Even though he's just up the road, there he is. Listen to that Toyota. It screams V6. I think all the LMPH cars are turbos. I think the
And
Audi.
hopefully for session, oh, sorry, go on.
I think the Audi's only a single turbo, but the ones might be twin turbos.
Yeah, right.
think.
Might have to do a little bit of research there back in the day.
Yeah, Brains Trust. Do some research for us. Off you go.
Yeah, so I was just going to say that hopefully in session 2 we'll actually have the 4 LMPH cars on the racetrack with the 2-hour session. With Simo Racing and Highlander not able to make the grid this afternoon for the start, but with the time compression we have a maximum wait time of 10 minutes, so they'll have to wait 10 minutes to start of session 2, but they can well and truly bring themselves back into the game if they hold that 10 minute gap throughout the 2 hours or even improve on it. Their wait time will be less than 2 minutes for session 3, and then it gets game on. They'll be on the same lap as everyone of the LMPH cars.
Matty just made a mistake at RNH, locked up and just sent it a little bit too deep.
Okay.
So it's costing a bit of time. See, he's not that, maybe being as close to mine affect his aero. Oh yeah, it looks like it. Just have to lift a bit.
We may want to even have a look at later on, wait for this battle to unfold and see what happens. But I reckon Sato might be getting closer shortly in the next 5 minutes or so, to looking low on fuel maybe.
That's it.
And also HUDs. HUDs will be, while we're looking at HUDs, we might be able to have a look at this fuel load is.
Well, we'll wait till you get them all started. We'll go the onboard special camera. Oh yeah, we've finally got reports Sato's having... Oh, there might be a traffic incident.
The 26.
Yep, traffic incident, yeah.
Could just be there is a blue dot, so there is a car that these guys are coming up to.
A car come up where these guys are, so if he decides to wait this time instead of doing lawn mowing, which he did last time.
And he just missed that barrier, Darky. I thought there was going to be a moment there that I might not have heard you for a couple of minutes if he did hit the barrier.
And here he comes.
Here he goes. Matty's got the momentum there. He's been able to enable that curves a little bit better than what HUDs has been.
Let's see if HUDs can have anything out of this chicane. Matty goes deep. Oh, he's overcut.
Oh, he's more than enough. He's going to feel. He's just touched down the side. And that's also thrown HUDs just off a little bit, but hopefully he hasn't incurred any damage. It's only hit the side of that car.
That's it, but I don't know if he hit the tyre bundle.
He's going to let, I wouldn't have let Matty through.
Yeah,
Matty was the one that actually spun.
Yeah, they'll just keep going.
So there you go.
They've just cost themselves each other's more time.
So a long way to go, but if we have maybe we can have a little bit of fuel watch in here, and as we're almost sitting right on the nose here of the Porsche. So 11.2s. So what are they running roughly? About 4.5, 4.6 litres a lap. So
at least 2 laps.
Probably 2 more laps. Well, he's going to be very close anyway.
And there's 15 for the Toyota, which I'm pretty sure is about the same pace and fuel. So he actually might still, but Sato was up the road a bit more, so we'll have to wait till what happens he gets to Indianapolis.
I think from memory, though, Darky, when I ran the Toyota last year, I was able to do 1 extra lap than all you guys. So the Toyota is probably the better on the fuel.
I thought the Porsche was better on the fuel, but here's Jetto, 32 litres. Tim Mack, 33 litres. Darkwood, 35 litres. Yeah, Porsche's better on fuel. 38 litres
so
for
logical didn't put fuel in when he did his repair.
He might have only put like a couple of litres, and yeah, he might just want to get in and out again.
And they did Nürburgring, so they just
I'm surprised why they did that. I would have put fuel in. Because if you're going to stop at near that 2 minute mark, you might, even though you have to stop again, you want to make that stop as short as you can, but that's what these guys are doing. So Matty's now on the back of HUDs here.
See if he can make it through cleanly this time. The reason why maybe he outbroke himself, I reckon, into the mid-lane chicane.
HUDs is about 2 litres better than Sato on fuel. Or maybe I like the Toyota is a bit better on fuel. But the question is that due to a pace difference? Now that both LMPH cars are all behind the Ford here, they're just going to have to wait here.
Yeah, well, I can guarantee you that my pace was nowhere near as fast as you guys last year, so that's probably why I was getting an extra lap. But yeah, the Toyota does seem like it's even this year's got a little bit better fuel economy.
Maybe Sato had a previous lap then. Sato's had some bad laps, so I was catching traffic in the bad spots with 3:31. Let's have a quick look at Sato. So, car straight, I think he's just catching traffic at the wrong spot.
He's only at 310 k's there, depending where he put his curves. I was just thinking maybe he could have a bit of aero damage if he's come across and touched someone.
Or he's saving his curves for another part of the track where he wants to deploy in different spots. So
beautiful shot of the track there as the cars come underneath the Dunlop Bridge. I love that.
That's it. And due to these guys getting stuck behind the Ford, Sato's actually pulled out more of a gap. These guys are still at a slower lap time than he did. So let's see again down the Moortown Straight if that Audi will catch up to him again.
Oh, no, he's had a spin.
Oh, that's a tag. He's got it on the curb. He's whacked the wall.
Yeah, so it's all coming unstuck for Matty as he's been under there for 40 minutes now driving. Also the 35 minutes qualifying session as well, which is fairly intense. So
that's it. I think he just needs to relax a bit here, not try so hard. He'll get Huds naturally by the look of it, because Huds will source a pit. So Matty, but the question is, does Matty have damage now? If he has damage, is he going to hang on to it till his next pit stop? Because he's going to have to stop again. The car looks. I don't think I think he's got a beer damage now. It's not so nice now.
No, I think he's had a little bit of rubs the wrong way, and I think when when Huds, when he spun in front of Tuds and Huds tried to avoid him and hit him, it was more on the front end.
Tuds.
Huds,
Fuds. Elmer Fuds.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Rascally Rabbit.
I'm thinking of my dog Duds as well at the same time probably. So there you go, Duds, Huds. As you said, Fuds.
But he's coming back at the Toyota pretty quickly, even after that mistake. So I'm wondering if Huds has a bit of damage here too, and it's costing him straight line pace here, because he is closing in like no tomorrow, Matty.
Well, ever since they've had that little scuffle, they haven't been able to benefit from Sato's poor lap times to get caught behind traffic. So, you know, the opportunity has been wasted here at the moment.
That's it. So we've got a bit of time. So let's look at the current leader for GTE. Jetto's out to an 18-second gap. Timnack's holding in there nicely. So Jetto's just
18 seconds behind.
He's only slowly increasing the gap, bit by bit by bit. So he's running around 55s. We know the Corvette can go quicker, but he's not doing it. Information from the pit was there is a window where this Corvette can punch out a quick time, but it's only 2 laps, so I think he's waiting to get to that space. Oh, here goes Sato, he's pitted now. Okay,
so he probably didn't want to risk that one more lap.
That's lap 13. That's pretty much about windows. So let's have a look where Huds is. Huds at the port. The fuel going in as the Porsche team is sponsored by Predator Workwear. You can't see him getting the work done. It's Predator Workwear. The fuel going in. Let's have a look. Here comes Huds out of the Porsche curves. Where's Matty? Matty, yeah, he's still there. So let's see if Huds and Matty will pass Sato. Fuel is done. One of his getting tyres or some repair. So here comes Huds.
Yeah, they'll definitely be getting through and passing Sato here.
There you go. But Sato's rolling now. The Huds takes the lead, and here comes Matty. Matty's now still on the pass. So you can see Sato just there. So the question is, if these two guys have straight line performance deficits, that's really going to help Sato now, as he's just going to exit pit lane now.
He's going to be in a good spot too, Sato, where he, with the fuel load, he can stop with 2 minutes remaining if he wants, but he's got the option of actually just running it to the end, and he's going to still have a healthy fuel level for the 2-hour session coming up later tonight at 7:45, 7:45 here live on our ANZ's Combined Racing League or ANZCRL Twitch channel.
That's it. So we've just got to request the penalties. So let's have a look at the penalties. Got it out. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, 11 for illogical, so he's spent pit lane. The Huds 1, Matty 1, Timnack 1, Darkwood 1, illogical 11. So the time penalties won't really matter in this session. Matty's second's just gone off the track. And they are catching on the beamer of Illogical Sports by the look of it.
And there go the two P51 Sim Sport guys.
That's it.
Gives a little tail shake to say hello, I think, Matty.
That's it. Yeah, that Audi is hurting, mate. You can really hear how much pace he's had to slow down through the corners. So I think these two guys might have some aero damage, which can help them through the corners, which is costing them a bit. But I think Matty is quicker than Hart in the Toyota. But every time he seems to get to him, seems to be making a mistake as he goes massively deep wide.
That's just what they do, though, too. Some of these cars, you do see them run wide over those white curves to try and straighten out the corner there.
That's it.
At the what is the Mills Lane corner.
So I am
To see how he goes, may as well stay on him just to see how he goes here through here in Indianapolis.
That sounded like a lift, actually. It didn't sound as aggressive as it was. So I reckon he's got some aero damage, which isn't making the cars nice, but he's quicker than Hart's. But Sato's catching, I think. So Sato with a fixed car, with his car all proper, I think he's very slowly pulling in these two. Not by much, but maybe like a tenth. He was 7 seconds. He was 7 seconds. Now he's down to 6 seconds. Now it's under 6 seconds.
Well, this will be a telling factor too through the Porsche chicanes if Matty's got a little bit of aero damage or anything like that. It doesn't seem to be, though. He's still holding on to the back of Huds through it and actually gaining on him.
Yeah.
But Sato is actually made up half a second, even more, maybe a second through the Porsche.
Yeah,
so you're right.
They've probably still got the grip, but not the full amount. Oh, here comes Huds. That's a bit lame.
Yeah, he'd be almost on vapours at the moment, Huds.
There we go.
Much left.
So now Matty's going to take over the lead race, and there's the Porsche of Sato in the background.
So just those guys just tuning in at the moment, we've had, this is the first round of pit stops for the LMP-H cars. We had Matty Seekin, who's leading the race at the moment, pit early, with around that 38 minutes remaining, 37 minutes remaining of the race. So he's running it to probably have another quick stop before the end of this race so he can have a full fuel load before the start of session 2. And you can see the cutouts there above the front wheels. That's so it stops the air collecting underneath the car to actually let it do a little 360 flips in the air. It dissipates the air.
Yep, they also can stick the rubber out too. But yeah, that's to stop the air from building pressure underneath the wheels, generating lift of the car. And Huds is underway. He's done. That wasn't a bad stop. I wonder if the damage he must have had must have been very minor. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, see, his damage that he had was down the side, so I don't think the game
he might have had
as aero or anything like that. So
here's Matty. Yeah, it's about 6 seconds now. Yeah. And you see Sato in the background comes with the first chicane.
Actually, Sato's dropped out heaps. Is he behind someone or not? He's dropped.
No, that's his pit lane. His exit pit lane lap. That's why it's a 4:17. Oh, yes.
No, Sato is dropping. It's nearly 10 seconds.
Yeah, so he must have made a mistake somewhere.
So he's had to. He's probably had a little off somewhere and regather. The car still looks good. There's no GTE cars in between the two.
So the question is, how long till the GTE cars pit? You've got what, at least potentially not 10 more minutes to go.
Hasn't Jetto done a tremendous job?
27 seconds. So Timex had a bad lap there. 44 minute 3 lap down. And there's a Porsche of Dark Lord. So he's.
So like when you look at, if you could look at lap after lap from Jetto, he's been in those 350, like those 355s, 357s, and all that sort of stuff for most of the race, just constantly.
Yeah, every time I look at his time, it's been 355. So he's yeah. So Tim's had an incident somewhere. 3 seconds. A bit of time. They're still within the hunt.
Oh, definitely more than enough in the hunt there for these guys at the moment. If we're looking at talking about time compression at the moment, roughly they'll be roughly about only about 9 seconds wait time, 9 to 10 seconds wait time from Jetto if the race finished now. So that 27-second gap at the moment just drops dramatically with our time compression. So yeah, they're still in the hunt. You just got to keep doing these laps and just limit the mistakes.
That's it. So let's do a lap on
so
the
you can hand it over.
GT winner from last year.
As they like to say, turn it up.
That was a lap of Le Mans with our previous winning GT class, the Aston Martin. So he's
yeah, that was a bit of a treat there, but it looks like also Nürburgring and Logical Sports, the timing goes up and down everywhere. I don't know if they're close to one another or not, but worth checking to see where they are.
So
they are
I would
close,
say
I
Jetto's going to be pitting this lap. I don't know how far this car's going to fuel. Tim Mack might be pitting. Dark Lord potentially maybe doing another lap. Logical doing maybe another lap. No. Once gone through Indianapolis and Nanas yet, so yeah, time is now. But Bato's gone to the back of the Audi.
So, at the end of the day there, I think, I really think Illogical Sports and Nürburgring, if they had their time again, they would have filled up. They should have filled up fuel when they had that pit damage, because they've sort of just kept the same strategy going, even though they had to pit for that damage. So
That's it.
they could have been a different strategy. They could have then been on the tail of the cars come the end of this race with a bit different fuel. We know that they're going to have to pit a couple of times through the second and third session, being a 2-hour session, but they could really and truly made it work in their favour.
Or maybe they're trying the least amount of time lost and use the time compression to pull them forward back up to the other cars.
Yeah, true. They could do that exactly. Yep.
So
Matty Seeky must be close to have to pit again too, because remember he pitted early in that LMPH car. So as we're on board here, we pull up his fuel numbers.
9.4.
So he's only going to get this lap and the next one, and he'll have to pit.
No, the Audi's better on fuel. The Audi's under is under that fuel mileage burn. So potentially
he's still got a little bit to go. So he's
looking
at
least
lap and then next
three.
maybe.
If he's running into the end here, he's at least looking at 3 laps here potentially. Potentially from this point, 3 to 2 laps, he can go furthermore.
Well, there's only 6 minutes remaining with 3-minute 20 laps, so there's only probably 2 laps left of this race.
Yep. So the question is he just going to run to the end and then use the fuel mileage for the next session to pull him forward? Because you end up with 8 leaders, you'll at least get the 1 lap and then pit in that first session. It's not a bad plan, actually. So we'll see if Matty. Yeah, he's struggling through here, so he's definitely got damage.
And here comes Sato right on the tail.
Sato runs wide out of the course curves. Be careful there. Then Matty goes around.
So they'll get this lap and another 2 laps of this race done. So they should finish on
18 laps.
Lap 17, they'll be on 18, yeah.
So how's it fallen back to a minute? The Huz must have an incident there. I'm not paying attention. Like, he's fallen back to a minute. He doesn't quite have the pace of these 2 guys, but that's a lot of time to lose. Really? Oh, because he had his pit stop. That's right. Oh, work out how he's so far back. Let's have a look at Jetto. And Jetto's in pit lane now.
So here he goes. So just remember, we take the fuel readings from anywhere from about 2 minutes remaining of the race, and we'll go through the LMPH cars first, and then we'll go through the GTEs from first to last.
So let's see if the Aston Martin Tim Nack is going to pit now, which I suppose, yep, there he comes.
So that's why they're not risking to do another lap, because they know that we're going to take a fuel number.
Yeah, and their lap takes longer, and here comes Dark Lord 2, and the lap is longer than... Oh, Tim Nack, he's hit the wall.
Oh.
He's hit the wall.
Yeah, he's still trying to get in. He might block pit lane.
Oh,
he has. He's munched it.
He's got damage now. That's going to... He's probably trying to...
potentially give Tim and Jack second of this race as well, if he's going to have repaired damage on.
That's it. And there goes Jetto. But the question is, he's not got a lot of time to get that damage repaired, set up. His Aston Martin's hit the wall there. And he's Dark Lord.
Yeah, but you know, most of us have the damage set to automatically turn on. I think. Oh, he's missed the front bumper, Logical.
Oh, Logical's had an incident somewhere. Oh,
so
that's...
doing a
was it back? No, it
is
gone. It is gone. It is removed.
Yeah.
So he's left
something's happened there.
There's Nürburgring. So it was safe to say we'll see these guys. We're going to see them in this lap, I'd say.
They have to go in too, but what I'm saying is if they filled up when they did that damage, they could have kept going and really benefit on track actually performance.
Oh, Dark Lord's jumped Tim Nack, so the Porsche now to second.
Yeah, that would have been for that little bit of damage repair that they would have had to do on these cars.
Well,
so there you go,
hopefully they got the damage repair done. If not, his car's going to suffer for this final lap. Their final lap, but where's the leader? The leader is going to do 1 more lap. So these guys...
one more lap.
They might do one more.
Managing that gap between himself and Sato.
So,
but is Matty pitting? We don't know if Matty's pitting this lap. He's going to be low on fuel.
The Logical's pitting now.
But as you say, they get a free leg up, that they'll have 8 litres
These
of fuel
guys are going
automatically
to
put into
pretty
their
much
tank.
have full tanks of fuel when they pit. And here comes, so let's see if Matty, if they've timed this, then that is spectacular if they've worked that out.
As we say, anywhere from 2 minutes to a minute and a half. We're not going to actually, if they're going into the pits or they're going into that pits and they're during the time we're looking at their time, well, obviously their
And the
full
answer
tank
is
will
yes,
be recorded.
he is coming to pit lane.
So he's coming in for that full fuel load.
Oh, and he's cut the chicane massively. All right, so we know what. So let's have a look at the Porsche. The Porsche is 39 litres. Sato does a quick lap time. Huz is 46 litres, or 47 because we round up.
47.
Jetto is 86 litres.
Yep.
Dark Lord is 93 litres. Timnac is 93 litres.
Yeah.
A Logical is 101 litres.
Yep.
Nürburg's still in pit lane, 88 litres. And Matty is leaving pit lane with 40 litres. 40 litres? I'm pretty sure the Audi would hold more than that. Oh no, the Audi is 20 litres under. Okay, so these guys have shown their hand now. So they've set themselves up to go longer in the next stint, first up.
So everyone's out of the pits.
That's it.
No one's in the pits.
No, everyone's out now.
Recorded them down. Thank you.
So Sato's fast lap 3:17 just then. Managed to put behind the Ford. Timnac didn't repair his car because it's handling not well.
Yeah, so he's just dropping a little bit of time, but time compression is going to be in his favour as well.
And Illogical didn't repair his car either because he didn't want to waste time. So here's Sato. So Sato's on his way to the end of the Morse Arm straight here. So this will be the end for him. But the two GTEs, which I think is, yes, Timnac and Dark Lord,
and Dark Lord
and Jetta, they're going to have to go around. All the other GTEs, which is Illogical Nürburg, they're going to be done this lap.
Yeah, but they'll all be on the same lap though.
Yes, technically they'll all be on the same lap.
Yeah.
So now as we watch Sato come towards.
See, the thing would be is if Sato actually makes a move on them before the final lap, they're going to be a lap short. So they want to stay in front of Sato.
Yeah, which
so
is that's a long distance away for Sato to make it. That's not going to happen. Because they're at the Porsche curves and you're only reaching Indianapolis. So here we go.
So the GTEs have actually done a really good job. They've all basically done the same amount of laps. They've all done. They're all on the same lap. So they've been still competitive, even though we had a little incident there halfway through that big battle that we had with Tim and Jack, Illogical Sports and Nürburger. With both Illogical and Nürburger come into grief somewhere through the Porsche curves.
That's it.
But this is the final lap of our first hour session, the normal 18 laps that we get done. This is the 5th running of the ANZCRL Le Mans 24 Hours for your racing for Australian, New Zealand Xbox Sim races on Project Cars 2.
That's it. So here comes
the man of the moment
to win session 1.
Sato 15.
That's it in the Porsche.
Congratulations for Porsche taking out session 1 at the moment to give them a little bit of a head start.
But here's Matty.
Now that 40 seconds gap that's there at the moment between Matty Seekin and Sato with the time compression is going to bring it down to around about the, I'd say around 16 seconds roughly, behind the Porsche LMP car, the team Porsche, number 1. The defending champions actually jumped from this car. Oh, not from actually the number 7, but number 8, Audi, over to the Porsche. So good run by Matty, and it's good to see that he kept it together there. He was pushing there for a while and was making a few little mistakes, but he settled himself down.
So here comes Huz. So if I'm right, Tim, no. Okay, so here comes Illogical and Nürburg. Their session will technically finish now, but they're on the same lap as Jetto. So Illogical didn't repair his car. He's just like, I got one lap, I deal with it. So Illogical's done. Here comes Nurburg with Huds right behind him. And there's Huds. Finish this session third.
That's good for the Toyota team. He's not too far away from Matty either, so their restart time is not going to be much at either, under 10 seconds.
That's it. So Jetto coming through Indianapolis now. Got a 40-second lead over Dark Lord.
Yeah, it's about the same from the LMPHs to the GTE, Starkey. The gap. Yeah, an outstanding drive by Jetto, but also Dark Lord just staying out of trouble in the second. Started on either the second or third. We can't quite remember where he started.
We'll check that later on.
We'll check that. We got the screenshot, but that'll all come up. But yeah, for him to run in basically fifth for most of that race, he's just slowly edged it away and kept it going, and kept some consistent time going to be there in second spot.
I think Sato got an extra lap in here at 19, because the game's saying 19 laps. So we'll see what the races will say. Or it might be 18. We'll see. Who knows?
That's because he's on lap. That's because he's on lap 19. He would have had 18 done.
Yeah, that's right. Well, here comes Jetto to take session 1 in the Corvette into the Ford chicane. So the man who did what he wanted to do, stay out front and stay out in front, and that's what he did. He avoided all the action.
And no mistakes, you know, he's done a terrific job. So,
and here comes our last
congratulations to the RFH team Chevrolet.
He's Dark Lord. He actually has Tim Knack. Yep, there's Tim Knack not too far behind him. But these are the last two guys. The Dark Lord's done well in the Porsche. Fell to the back of the pack early on, but due to other people battling too hard or instances, it's kept him right into it now.
Yeah, it's good to see Dark Lord doing a good job in the Porsche. It's a good looking car on the track too.
That's it, so
nice
here he goes.
And compact, nimble. So it's a synonymous, like one of those cars that just have to be on the track all the time. The GTEs.
And here comes our final competitor, Tim Knack in the Aston Martin. That should be everyone then. And that's it.
And what a first session we have just witnessed there for the 2021 running of the Le Mans 24 Hours here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League.
Oh, okay. The gap blew out to 47 seconds between Sato and Matty. 2-second penalty for Matty there. So
Matty.
Yep. So Sato 15 takes session 1 in the Porsche, with Matty second coming home in second in the Audi. Huds finishing third in the Toyota, a minute 16 behind. Corvette wins session 1 with Jetto at the hands. Dark Lord, the surprise, comes home in second in the Porsche. Tim Knack, the defending champion car, in third in the Aston Martin. Illogical Sports coming home 7th overall and 4th in class in the BMW. And Nurburg finishes off the field, finishing 8th overall, but 5th in GT class in the Ford.
Yeah, and they're going to be up amongst it all though too, so it's going to be very good to see once and they have all got full tanks, so session 2 is going to be again a repeat of what we've just seen in first session, I reckon, with the GTEs when they all get compressed up again. And don't forget the 2-hour session that we're going to have. It's going to simulate 10 hours of the game time, so currently we're at 1700, so 5 p.m. in game. So it's going to run from 5 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to have a nice afternoon session with the sun setting and then the moon, the night, all that. So there's so much to play out in this second session. So you do not want to miss it.
That's it.
So we'll be live again around about just after 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that's New South Wales Victorian time. I've been your host, Woody Lizard, and there with all the experts of the car techs and all the knowledge there is the other man, Dark Racing 40. Thank you, buddy.
That's all right, mate.
And we will turn to the lobby to get these guys finished, and we will see you in around about 4 hours' time. See you later.
Bye.
Oh, 3 hours' time, I should say, not 4 hours.
Yeah.